Welcome back, Turners. Today I'm going to do another bowl project. I have one more to do for the Cornerstone Center for Early Learning in St. Louis. I mentioned in my last video. I produced a carob bowl in that video and came out pretty good, I think. Today I'm going to be working on some more ash that I have. I've got this this ash blank. You can see I've already put my mortise in the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up on the lathe so I can start roughing off the bottom and set a mortise in the bottom so I can flip it around and then work the hollowing as you typically do. So let's go ahead, go to the lathe and get started. Alright, Turners, we've got it mounted up on my long jaw chuck, and now we're just going to start the roughing process. Alright, Turners, well, I think you can see, again, I've got the bottom of my bowl shaped. I'll have to clean up the interior of the recess to get rid of the little hole from the Forstner bit. But I've got these cracks that were hiding inside there. And I think what I'll do is use some Padauk and accent these. Since they have these radial lines here, they may be visually interesting if I put something contrasting in there, like the Padauk shavings that I have. So I'm going to leave it on the chuck, but take it off the spindle and do that process. Alright, Turners, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and use some, I've got some finely ground coffee that I'm going to use to fill these. I think I would like the darker contrast even better than the reddish contrast. So, again, I'm just going to put some of this on here and work it into those cracks. And then we're going to use some CA glue to seal that in there. Once it's all filled, you can see how those are starting to fill up. Okay? Alright, Turners, I'm happy with how that filling has worked. I've done a shear scraping on the exterior and ready to do some sanding and then some sealing. So we're going to do that next. Alright, Turners, well, here's a close-up, I guess, of the sealed bowl. This has had the sanding sealer applied to it. It's now, I do a friction application after I do first coat of rub-on, and These cracks are now filled to the touch. You cannot feel them. So between the CA that was put in there, the coffee grounds and whatnot, those cracks are now, you can't even feel them. So it's really kind of an interesting effect. So anyway, now I'm going to let this sit here for a little bit and I guess cure. I'm not sure if that's the right word for it, but I want this seal coat to harden a little bit before I start the application of the Triple E Ultra Shine and the Shellawax cream. So we'll be back. Alright, turners, we're going to go ahead and start facing off this upper portion and set the rim and do something decorative there. So let's get started. Alright, turners, well, I knew I would have to deal with some of these cracks. I got the rim set here. Haven't removed some of this mass, but I do have some gaps here that I'm going to have to deal with, so let's do that. Well, turners, I found a few more cracks as I got deeper into the hollowing process. So I've switched over to using some epoxy with some pigment in it. So my hope is that that's going to fill those cracks. Hopefully I won't encounter too many as I get deeper into hollowing this bowl. Alright, turners, we're mounted back up on the lathe. We're still running pretty true. That epoxy is all set up good. I'm going to clean it off and hopefully it's done what it needs to do. And we'll be able to finish emptying out the inside here and getting on to some finishing. Alright, turners, one more time. I found a couple of cracks down deeper after I got a good portion of this hollowed out. Some on that side as well. So what we're going to do is, that's of course some more epoxy with some of that copper Pearl-Ex pigment in there. So we will let that set up and then we will clean that up. But while we're here, I guess I'll point out that I got my decorative edge put on there. I'll bring this up a little closer so you guys can see it. yeah, it doesn't stand out real well right now, but even with the filler there, I think that is kind of interesting. It's that double rope pattern, or the rope with the double detail pattern, like I did on the last bowl that, I think it was carob, yeah. So that'll clean up nice, and I'll show you that in more detail after I get it finished. Alright, turners, I think you can see that I've got those cracks filled, and now I turned away the excess epoxy that I used to fill them, and now this is ready for some sanding. So we're going to do that, and then some sanding sealer, the Triple E, and then the Shello-Wax cream. Alright, turners, we got the sanding sealer on there now, and we're going to let that set up a bit. Then we'll come back with the Triple E Ultra Shine, and then the Shello-Wax. Alright, turners, that's set up good. We're going to go ahead and put in our Triple E Ultra Shine. Let's give it a good coat inside. We're going to start the lathe. Start. There we go. Bring your speed up. And just keep buffing. Well, turners, here it is. The bowl is finished. It's got the Shello-Wax cream on it. See the little decorative edge up here? These are those cracks that I filled with the epoxy that had the pigment in it. I'm not exactly sold on how this looks. I'd like to hear your guys' comments. You can see the overall shape of the bowl. It's just got that little rim on there. My foot, of course, I'm going to add my signature and whatnot down there. You can see again, those are those cracks from the outside as well. So maybe this would sat a little bit too long. I'm not sure. Overall, a completely functional bowl. It's got a nice thickness to it. It doesn't look too bad, but again, I'm just not sure if I want to send this over to the charity in St. Louis or not. So again, I just want to mention that the Cornerstone Center for Early Learning in St. Louis is where I contribute these works, and they put them in their auction, and so anyway, check them out. Also, I just wanted to thank you guys for watching. Check out my channel. I've got some other videos out there you might be interested in. I don't monetize, so you'll never have to watch a commercial. Always family friendly and ad free. So also check out the subscriptions I have to a lot of other awesome wood turners and woodworkers out there. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the next one.